Alright, hello math fans. Alright, I'll tell you, this is probably one of the most important lessons that you're going to get all year. Alright, this is factoring a trinomial. This is so huge. Okay, this is a really important lesson, guys. Basically what we're doing, as you guys already know, factoring means we take a trinomial and we put it into parentheses. Okay, we break it up. And you guys have had, I'm just going to show you a kind of a reverse example quickly here. If I have x plus 5 times 2x minus 3. Okay, we've done this already, where we do FOIL, and we get 2x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 15. Okay, then we combine like terms, we get 2x squared plus 7x minus 15. So what's going to happen is, now I'm going to hand you this, and you're going to figure out combinations to give me the two sets of parentheses. And the deal is, we really have two things here. The signs, this plus and minus, that's actually super important also. Okay, it's very important. And then you got to figure out your combinations of, well, okay, that's a 2, and that's a 1 here, and that's a 5, and that's a 3. All right? So you got to figure out signs, and then combos of numbers. Okay? So if you follow, we're going to go through some steps to find the signs. If you don't get the signs right, you can't even get the regular problem right in the first place. Okay? So you have to be able to place the signs. Now sometimes you don't know, is it going to be plus or minus, or is it going to be minus plus? That's actually the harder of the two. All right? Obviously, well, I'm going to show you guys where you'll be able to know whether it's plus plus or whether it's plus or minus minus. That's actually pretty easy, but it's sometimes positioning that minus plus or plus minus is the difficult thing. All right, so let's start off with just signs before we even start a problem out. And these problems are not even going to work out. I'm just strictly interested in placing the signs. Okay, so this is strictly on signs. If you have x squared plus x plus 6, and I want to factor that, and I want to put some signs in these spots between the two numbers. Okay, this is a couple things you got to realize here. First of all, the numbers, like when we do FOIL, the numbers need to multiply to equal, and I'm not even going to worry about the number, but I guess, I'm not going to worry about the number for now. I'm just going to worry about the sign. So it's got to multiply to give you a positive number, and it has to add to give you a positive number. So the only way you can multiply something to give you positive is, do you agree, the signs have to be the same signs. So you're looking at that last term and you're saying, okay, in order to get to be a positive 6, it has to be either a positive positive or a negative negative. Okay, do you guys agree with that? Right? Because like 2 times 3 gives me 6, but negative 2 times negative 3 also gives me 6. So if I look at this, the second sign, it's either got to, well, in this case here, it's going to multiply to give you a positive. But isn't it, if I multiply a positive times a positive, don't I get a positive? And a negative times a negative, don't I get a positive? All right? This is pretty important right here. Because I'm going to look at this part right here then. This sign is a positive. So if it has to multiply to give me a positive, and it's one of these two choices, the only way to add to give me a positive, don't you agree, is this one right here? So the signs are positive, positive. Now let's do this exact same problem, x squared minus x plus 6. Well, don't you still agree it's got to multiply to equal to positive? So it has to be the same sign. And I'm going to, it's again, the only way to get to me a positive is multiply positive times a positive is a positive, and a negative times a negative is a positive, right? It's the only way to get that. And then we look at this sign here, and it has to add to equal a negative. The only way that could be a negative, given these two choices here, is it has to be this one right here. It's the only way. You can't have, there's no way to get to be a negative if you have two positives. So it has to be, for this one, has to be a negative and a negative. All right, so again, what we're doing here is we're looking at this term right here. That's key. We're looking at that term, and if that's positive, okay, if this term is positive, then we look at this term. Well, if we hold on, if this term is positive, which it is, it's the same sign. Okay, so that's the same sign, or the answers have to be the same sign. Then you look at this. Well, if it's the same sign, then you decide if both positive or both negative. Okay? So that's the deal. Let's do another one here. X squared minus x minus 6. So now, if you notice, this is a negative. And remember, it has to multiply to equal a negative. All right. How does it multiply to give you a negative? Well, it has to be a positive times a negative. It's the only way to give you a negative by multiplication. So I don't even have to worry about this right now. That's kind of nice, because I know one's got to be, it's a positive negative. Now, I don't know the order, and that's something we'll find out later. Okay, but this is important to get these signs right. It's positive and it's negative because this is a negative. Okay, same thing if I said x squared plus x minus 6. Remember, this doesn't matter. If this is negative, it's automatically opposite signs. Same thing with this, opposite signs. So it's going to be plus minus, because the only way to get this is a positive times a negative. And I don't even have to worry about this now. It doesn't matter. That sign at least doesn't matter. Okay? So this is what you have to realize. You got to look at these signs of the two terms. So let's kind of make a little summary sheet here. If you have x squared plus x plus 6, you are going to have plus plus because of this, and then you look at that. So same sign and positive, both positive. Then you have x squared minus x plus 6. Again, look at this one here. Same sign. Then you look at this one and say, oh, they're both negative. Okay, so that's first case scenario, second case scenario. Third case scenario, x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, you look at that one and you know it's opposite signs. I'm not even drawing an arrow to the next one because it doesn't matter. Opposite signs. Fourth case scenario, x squared plus x minus 6. Opposite signs. Again, it doesn't matter the order. Okay? Those are your 4 scenarios. And you need just to practice that. So let's actually just practice it real quickly just to figure out what the signs are. I'm not even going to say these problems are going to work out. I'm just wanting to get the signs. So if I said 5x squared minus 7x minus 3. What are the signs? Okay, look at that one. Opposite signs, plus minus. 2x squared plus 8x plus 6. Oh, same sign, both positive. 3x squared minus 8x plus 8. Same sign, both negative. X squared plus 4x minus 3. Opposite signs. X squared minus 2x minus 16. Okay, opposite signs. It's pretty easy. X squared minus 6x plus 3. Same sign. So both negative. X squared plus 2x plus 6. Same sign. Both positive. Alright? Gives you the idea? I hope you guys get the idea. This is really not that difficult, but that is so key to get the signs right first. You have to do it. If you don't get the signs right, you can't get the problem right. It's impossible. Okay? Alright, so that's the first thing. Now let's talk about actually how to get some answers here. So let's start out with a nice little friendly problem here that's actually going to work out. 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. So this is the deal, math fans. First of all, we're going to place our signs. Both positive, or both the same sign, both positive, so plus, plus. Now what we're going to do is you're going to figure out multiples or factors of 3. Factors of 3. So how can you break up 3? 3 times 1. That's the only way you can break that up. So that's what we're going to use. And then I'm going to look at the 2. And that's going to be 2 and 1. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the 2 and the 1 kind of randomly in here. And I'll show you a little shortcut later on, okay, and how to kind of eliminate some of the choices. But you're going to have 2x here and 1x, or just x here. So for the x squared, they go in the first spot in both places. And then you have the 3 and the 1. So I'm going to put the 3 and the 1 here, 3 and the 1 there. Okay, so those go in those two places. So I have them placed. I don't know if they're right or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check using FOIL. And I know it's going to seem like a lot of work, but it's kind of like a little bit of guess and check, though we're going to be able to eliminate some things here shortly. All right. To check, you just do FOIL. So 2x times x squared is 2x squared. Outer plus 2x, inner plus 3x, and last plus 3. So if I check everything, I get 2x squared, or combine like terms, plus 5x plus 3. Okay, and then I check it to what I originally had. Well, it's not equal. So I have them in the wrong order. Now this is the deal. This term right here and this term right here, the 2x squared and the 3, I really don't even need to check it. Okay, the reason I don't need to check it is because I already picked multiples to give me 2 and 1 and 3 and 1. I already know that they're going to be right. So I don't need to check FOIL every time. The only part I really need to check, I need to check the OI. Okay? The outside and the inside term. That's it. That's really important because it just saves, that's double the time to check the F and the L and the OI. Okay, so I just need to check the OI. So if I would have just gone back, this is all I need to check. Because these are correct, I know that they're right, and they are. There's the 2x squared and there's the 3. It's just that 5x that's wrong. So in this case here, because I need to kind of switch things around a little bit. So what I always do is you try your combinations with the 2x and the x, and I would switch around the 3 and the 1. So I'm going to put the 2x and the x back in there, and I'm going to put my signs back in there, and I'm going to say, well, how about 1 and 3? Well, let's check the OI. So all I need to check is the OI. So outside gives me 6x, inside gives me plus 1x, so I have 7x, and that's my correct answer. So this right here, math fans, is my answer. Okay? It's not difficult. It takes a little bit of patience. Sometimes it takes a couple of times to check it, but you got to be patient and do it correctly. All right? Okay, so let's try another problem. Let's do 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get our signs. Signs are going to be plus, plus. Okay, 3 gives me 3 and 1. 2 gives me 1 and 2. Okay, we're starting out with kind of some basic ones to kind of give you, you know, so it's not really too difficult. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to put, this is 3x here and 1x here. And we're going to put the 1 and the 2 here. Give that a shot. All right, and again, it's kind of random how you put it. And then we'll check it. Remember, I only have to check the outside and the inside. So outside gives me 6x plus x plus 1x, 7x. And though I didn't really stress it that much, that 7x has to be that 7x there. I didn't stress that in the last example. All right? So they have to be the same. If they are the same, then we're done. And we are. And they're the same. So that's our answer. Right there. If they're different, then we got to figure out something else. We got to figure out we'd switch the 1 and the 2. Okay? Okay, let's try something a little bit tougher. 3x squared minus 14x plus 8. So we have a few more things here. We have the 3 is 3 and 1, and the 8 is 8 and 1, or 4 and 2. Right? We got two different combinations there. Now, my recommendation a lot is to try the ones that are not as big. Okay? Unless this number is, if this number is huge, then you're going to try, then you might use the bigger numbers, okay? But it's kind of a thing where you look at it, okay, is 14 really that big? It's not that big. It's, you know, it could be, but I would try the 4 and the 2. So here we go. I'm going to put my signs in there. You should look at this one and say, oh, they're both the same sign. Oh, they're both negative. Negative, negative. So we're going to put 3x and x, and I'm going to put the 4 and the 2 there. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the OI, outside, inside. And remember, our goal is to get that to be negative 14x, to be the middle term, always. That's our goal. So I do outside minus 6x minus 4x is negative 10x. Nope, that's not it. So I'm going to try 3xx. The first thing I do is just switch these around, guys. That's the main thing here. And this is going to put a 2 here and a 4 here. Got to try different combinations. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to stick in the 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. All right. So I check outside. So OI. So I get negative 12x minus 2x equals negative 14x. Hey, that's it. Negative 14x. So guess what? That's my answer. All right. It's not too bad. But remember, the signs are important, because if you didn't have the signs right, you wouldn't even get the problem right. It's impossible. Okay, so signs are really important, and getting your factors of 3 and 8, making sure you get that right. Okay, so it's really not too bad. Okay, so let's kind of talk about how we can kind of simplify things, because sometimes it helps if you've got a bunch of different choices to make, how can you simplify and make less choices? So let's talk about that. Here's the next one. 4x squared plus 4x minus 3. Okay, so my signs are going to be plus minus because it's negative here, right? They're opposite signs. And 4 can either be 2 and 2 or 4 and 1. 3 can only be 3 and 1. So let's try the 2. We have 2x and 2x. And let's do 1 and 3. Okay, so I don't know which one it is, right? Is it 3 and 1, 1 and 3? We don't know. So I'll do 1 and 3. So if I FOIL this out, or I do the OI, I get negative 6x, that's outside. Inside is plus 2x. And my answer is negative 4x. Now this is where it's really good because my goal is to get 4x. My goal is positive 4x, right? I have negative 4x. I am super close. The only thing I do is I change the signs in here. That's all I do. So instead of 2x, so it's change signs. So instead of 2x plus 1, it's 2x minus 1. The right choice with the signs at the beginning, that's not a big deal. You'll know if you just have to switch signs around because you'll get opposite of what you're supposed to get. That's really a convenient thing because it's like you're almost there. Okay, so if I check my outside inside now, I get 6x outside minus 2x is 4x. And that's what I'm going for. So this is my answer. Okay, so if you get the wrong signs after you do OI, but the number's correct, that's important. If the number's correct, you just switch the signs. Okay, so let's try another one here. And sometimes you'll make the right decision, you get the right answer right away. 10x squared minus x minus 3. Okay, so let's see. We're going to get our signs here first. And we're going to do, and we'll do plus minus. And we'll do, this is going to be 2 and 5. Or 10 and 1. Probably not 10 and 1 because those are big numbers. And then we're going to do the 3 as 3 and 1. So I'm going to do the 5x and 2x. All right, and then I'm going to do 1 and 3. So we don't know our combination, but that's okay. It's what we do. It's kind of a little trial and error. Okay, so let's check OI. It's negative 15x plus 2x equals negative 13x. Well, we're way off. We need a negative x. So I'm just going to swap the 1 and the 3. So I'm going to get 5x plus 3, 2x minus 1. Okay, and I'm going to do that. It's going to be negative 5x plus 6x gives me positive x. Oh! Super close, guys. Remember, my goal is this negative x squared. So I'm off by a sign. So I know my answer is going to be 5x minus 3, 2x plus 1. Really easy. Okay? Okay, that was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. This is my answer. Okay, let's try another one here. X squared minus 5x minus 6. Okay, well that's pretty nice. Just x squared, it's 1 and 1. And 6 is 2 and 3, or 5 and 1, or 6 and 1. Sorry. Alright, So let's figure it out here. Signs are going to be positive and negative. They're opposite signs. And x and x. And let's put the 2 and the 3 in here. 2 and 3. And if I do the outside inside, okay, it's negative 3x plus 2x gives me negative x. Nope, not good. Well, it doesn't matter if I switch around the 2 and the 3 because it's the same term. It's the 1 and the 1. So I actually need to use a different set of values. So I'm going to use x plus 6 and x minus 1. So if I do that, I get negative x plus 6x equals 5x. Okay, again, I'm going for negative 5x, so I just flip these signs around, and I get x minus 6, x plus 1. That's it. That's my answer. Okay? So I hope you guys understand with the signs. It makes it super easy if you get the wrong answer, you just flip around the signs. Okay, so let's try a few more. It's a lot of practice here. Here's the next one. 4x squared minus 11x plus 6. Okay, we got a few more combinations now. We got 4 and 1, 2 and 2, 6 and 1, 2 and 3. So it's just a few more combos. You just got to try them. Okay, so I'm going to give you another little hint here. First of all, these are the same sign. They're both negative. That's actually pretty sweet. So I'm going to put a 2x and a 2x here. And I'm going to put a 6 and a 1. Now, this is the deal. This actually is a huge time saver. You will never have a GCF inside your parentheses. Never. Okay, so right here, I've got a 2 and I have a 6. That one's not my answer. I will never have a GCF inside there. So if you have anything with a 2 and a 6, or a 3 and a 9, or a 5 and a 10, or a 2 and an 8, anything that has a GCF, it is the wrong answer. Okay? That is really great time saver. So that actually saves a lot because, see that 2 and the 2? If this 2 and the 2, there's no way that's going to go with the 6 and the 1, is it? Because I got the 2 and the 6. I just did that. And there's no way that's going to go with the 2 and the 3. Because somehow you're going to get a 2 and a 2 in the same thing. So in other words, you can't have 2x plus 2 and 2x, these are both minus. 2x minus 2 and 2x minus 3. That's wrong because you can't have GCF. So the only one that I could do is 4 and 1 with one of those combinations. Okay, so that just helps out really a lot. So here, let's do 4x and x. Our signs are both negative. And now I know I can't put a 6 in this first spot here. I know it's got to be a 1 and a 6. Has to be. Okay? Well, that's not necessarily the right choice, but it can't be the 6 and 4. So it eliminates a choice. So if I do the OI, I get negative 24x minus x is negative 25x. Well, that's way off. My goal is negative 11x, math fans. So I'm not going to put 4x minus 6, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 4 and the 1. So 4x and x, and I'm going to do the 2 and the 3. Again, I can't put the 2 here because it's the greatest common factor, but I can put the 3 here, and I can put the 2 here. Okay, so let's check it. Outside, so it's negative 8x minus 3x. Sweet. Negative 11x. So that's my answer right here. And I did a lot of stuff here. It looked like it was kind of complicated, but really it's not. You'll never have a greatest common factor, so you don't even try those combinations. It's an awesome way to get past so many different problems. Okay, it really is. Okay, so let's try another problem here. 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. So that's a 2 and a 1. That's a 2 and a 1. The signs are opposite because it's negative here, so plus minus. And this is nice because I have a 2x and an x, and the only thing it can be is 1 and 2. It's the only thing it can be, because you can't have a greatest common. I can't put 2 here. It can't be greatest common factor. All right. So the only thing I need to check is the OI. So negative 4x plus x is negative 3x. Oh, got the wrong sign. Okay. 2x minus 1, x plus 2. That's the answer. I hate to say it because people laugh, but this is kind of fun a little bit because you're trying to get combinations. You know ways to get around things. It's like a puzzle. Okay, maybe you'd rather do a puzzle. I don't know. All right, so let's try another one here. 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. Okay, so that's going to be 3 and 1, 3 and 1. That's actually pretty sweet. Opposite signs. So 3x and x, 1 and 3. So to do the OI, I get negative 9x plus 1x is negative 8x. Beautiful. That's our answer. Oops. There we go. Okay, that was our answer in the box. Okay, that's pretty nice. So it gets faster. It takes a long time in the beginning because you're like, combinations, everything, but then all of a sudden kind of speeds up a little bit, and it's really not too bad. Okay, so let's do another one here. 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. Well, that's going to be 2 and 1. 12 can be 3 and 4. 6 and 2. 12 and 1. Right, a lot of different combinations. The beauty of this being a positive here, guys, is that you know the signs already. You don't have to worry about anything. I know it's plus plus. So it's going to be plus plus 2x and x. Let's try the 3. Well, first of all, I want to show you it can't be 6 and 2. Because if I put a 6 in the first spot or a 2 in the first spot, can't have greatest common factor. So that's out of there. The only one it could be for this one, it could be 12. It can't be 12 and 1. It could be 1 and 12. But I'm just going to try 3 and 4 first. And obviously, it can't be 4 and 3. So I've narrowed down, gone from 6 choices, 3 and 4, 4 and 3, 6 and 2, 2 and 6, 12 and 1, 1 and 12. I've narrowed it down to 2 choices. It's going to be either 3 and 4 or 1 and 12. That's pretty sweet. Okay, that's really narrowing it down a lot. So let's try this one. I get 2x times 4, 8x, plus 3x, 11x. That answer was our first choice, and that's our right answer. Okay, it's pretty nice. Okay, so here let's do one last problem, and I think you guys have the gist. Get your signs right, and pick your multiples, and a couple tricks, right? One trick being if it's the opposite sign, you just switch the signs and you get the right answer. The other trick being you can't have greatest common factor inside the parentheses. Okay, so let's try this one here. 5x squared plus 48x minus 20. Okay, well, it's a little bit tougher, but 5 and 1. 20 can be 5 and 4. 10 and 2. 20 and 1. Okay, the signs are going to be, because this guy right here, both are their opposite, so plus minus. So we can put 5x here and x here. And I'm going to start out with the 5 and the 4. But if you notice, I can't put 5 here and 4. It has to be 4 and 5. So let's try it. We get negative 25x plus 4x is negative 21x. Nope, wrong one. So that's out of there. And again, I can't do 5 and 4 because that's wrong. So I have to switch already to 10 and 2. So let's do it again. So 5x plus x minus. Again, I can't put a 10 here in the first spot because it's the greatest common factor. So I'm going to put a 2 here and a 10 here. Okay, so if I FOIL that, or do the OI, I get negative 50x plus 2x. Plus 2x. And that gives me negative 48x. Oh! That was great. Look at that, man. Okay, we're opposite, so my answer is 5x minus 2, x plus 10. And that's your final answer. It's really not that difficult. Okay, just it's really practicing getting the patterns right, and you're good to go. All right, that's it, math fans. You have a great day. Bye, math fans.